Happy New Year, guys. Welcome to 2025. I actually wasn't quite sure if I wanted to do a resolutions video because, I feel like some people get a bad taste for them. Like, okay, you say you're gonna do this and this and this, and then you fail at them after a couple weeks or maybe a month, and then you just look silly. I have fallen in that boat many, many times. There's certain resolutions that I make that rarely ever get past day one, to be totally honest. But I still think it's really important to set goals. If we never set goals, we're never going to accomplish anything. And then you're going to be stuck wherever you are. But at least for me, I know I can always do better and improve. So I actually do enjoy setting resolutions. So I thought I'd go ahead and share my resolutions with you guys. These are not crazy, lofty, out of control resolutions. These are actually attainable. I think they're important. And I just thought it might encourage you guys to set a resolution, set some goals. Let's see if we can attain them and encourage each other to do it. So if you want to hear mine, I have 5 goals. That is totally doable. So for 2025, we're going to talk about my 5 goals or New Year's resolutions. You guys ready? Let's go. Like I said, I came up with 5 resolutions for 2025. What I decided to do, instead of just listing off a bunch of things that I wish I could do, I have 5 categories. So here are my 5 categories. First one is physical. Second one is spiritual. Third one is mental. Fourth one is family. And the 5th one is homeschool. If you're new here, I'm Toni, and I'm a homeschooling mom to 4 kids. I've been homeschooling for about 11-ish years now, and I do love talking about homeschool on my YouTube channel. So anyway, I'm a thrifty mom, I'm a homeschool mom. I have a lot of new subscribers from my Christmas video that did really well, and I have to say before I get on with this, you guys were amazing, and I have to, a huge thank you for that. I put a little disclaimer in my Christmas video if you didn't see that. A lot of times get so much hate and so much negativity because of the way I do things at Christmas time. I didn't get that this year. I mean, a few people were rude, but out of 60,000+ people that saw my video, I think that is fine. I can handle that. I just deleted them and moved on with my life. But I just want to thank you guys for being nice. I think that was really awesome. And I have not gotten to comment on all the comments, and I'm going to do my best to get to that. But I've read a lot of them, and I thank you guys so much for being so awesome. So if you're new to our Thrifty Homeschool family, welcome. Thank you for being here. So if you don't like my resolutions, that's fine too. Honestly, I just want to share, this is what I'm deciding to do for me and for my family. Let's get into this. So. My first one is physical, okay? Now this might seem like a crazy resolution to some people, which again is fine. If it's crazy to you, it's totally fine. I decided actually a month ago. So I started this resolution back in December, and I wasn't sure if I was going to share it. A lot of times I hate sharing goals or resolutions or diets or things like that because I usually fail. Totally honest, usually fail. But I'm doing this for some deeper reasons than just, I want to lose weight or I want to get in shape or look better, blah, 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 whatever. I am following the carnivore diet. I'm not an expert at, but basically you eat protein and, well, basically you eat protein. So you eat high fat meats and other meats. You can eat pretty much whatever meat you want, and you eat eggs and you eat butter. The strict ones, that's all they eat. I do eat cheese. I'll eat a little bit of sour cream, things like that, but that's it. That's it. That's all I eat. You may be asking me, why in the world are you doing that? I've done a lot of research, and I'm not a doctor, so I'm not telling you to do this. I'm just saying this is what I'm doing. I have been struggling for about a year with carpal tunnel syndrome, and it can be debilitating, like so painful to where I cannot use my hands. My hands hurt so bad very often. We had really bad insurance last year, so on top of everything else, I felt like I couldn't really do anything about it. So I was trying to figure out, like, naturally, how can I help my hands? On this diet, there's so many people that have followed the carnivore diet, and so many like nerve issues, joint pain, blood pressure, high blood pressure, like all these things get healed, and it is amazing. So I am not planning on doing this for the rest of my life, but short term, I did 2 straight weeks of it. To be totally honest, I only made it 2 weeks because then I got sick the 3rd week, which was the week of Christmas. I was like dead. Like I was in bed, couldn't get out of bed, had a fever. It was terrible. I probably still sound kind of bad. Anyway, I didn't have the energy to make anything, let alone meat. I just ate whatever my family was eating. I had cookies. I even had a little bit of soda. in the last week or so. Now I'm getting back onto it. So, and it really wasn't that hard. I'm not going to talk about this for too long. I was shocked how easy it was. There were days where I'm like, oh, I don't want meat. Like I'm not a huge, like I like meat, but I'm not like someone that, gets super excited when a steak is coming. So it was hard at times when I'm like, I just want some broccoli, or I want a piece of fruit, or, a potato or something. I saw in 2 weeks of following this, my hands started to do better, which was huge because I am now a part-time waitress along with homeschooling my kids and trying to just be a person who uses their hands. I was very nervous about my hands, but I've actually waitressing has been going great. Anyway, I am going to stick with this at least for a couple months because I really need to have functioning hands. And I'm hoping I do have high blood pressure, and I'm hoping it'll clear that up too. So we're going to give it a try. I'm actually going to Sam's Club with the family tonight. We're going to load up on some more meat. Like I take bacon in a baggie to work and I snack on that when I get hungry. Isn't that weird? It's crazy. I don't necessarily want to tell everybody, even though I'm putting this on YouTube, because people probably think it's weird. And if you don't know anything about it, you're like, oh my goodness, your cholesterol is going to be so bad. Just do some research. If you're curious about it, ooh, my earring just fell out. If you're curious about it, do some research, because that's all it took for me was to do research. And if you read any comment on a carnivore diet video, you will see people being like, oh my word, I've lost this much pounds and this doesn't hurt anymore. And I don't have this anymore. And this illness that I had forever is gone. Anyway, I think it's awesome. I'm excited. So that's my first thing. And then the other thing, I need to get moving. And it's hard when you're a mom and you're busy, and we homeschool, so we are very sedentary for a long time. Then I'm driving or I'm working or whatever, or I'm exhausted, so I go lay down. So actually getting in movement is hard. And I know that will help with pushing things along with losing weight and all that. So my goal is 10,000 steps, which I hope is not insane. I was trying to Google what was a good amount for someone my age, and 10,000 was was what kept popping up. So I have one of these watches that I wear, and I only use it when text messages come in. I'm like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah texted me. And I got it with the intention of doing the steps and watching my steps and trying to monitor, different things, because it monitors your sleep and all that. But I don't pay any attention to that. I'm going to try to do that and actually make this more than just, what time is it and who texted me. That's my physical goal. Yay. My spiritual goal is next. So my spiritual goal is I'm going to start Bible journaling 3 days a week. I used the Bible journal and I loved it. And I bought a journaling Bible years ago. I filled up some of the pages in it, but not a lot considering how long I've had it. And it does take more time, but I am going to start doing that. So that's why I set a limit. I don't want to be like, I'm going to do this every day, because honestly, reality is it's not going to happen. But I think 3 days a week is a good goal. And then my other goal is to read the Bible every single day, which doesn't always happen. It's hard when, there's always excuses why you can't get it done. So my goal is to read my Bible every single day, but to Bible journal 3 days a week. Then I have a mental goal, which is more learning. What do I want to do and learn? So my goal, I love to read. I love books. I have a ton of books. I don't make time to read. So I just saw it seems like everybody I know just popped up this week on Facebook. They popped up their Goodreads, what they read this month. And everybody read 130 books or 100 books. And I'm like, how in the world? How do they have time to do that? So there's no way I'm going to be anywhere near 100. Now, some of those did include books they read to their kids, but a lot of them looked like books, adult books, just books you would read. I want to make time to read more. I really do like reading, but you've got to make an effort. You have to be intentional about it, or you're going to pick watching on your phone rather than reading, at the end of the day or something. So here's my goal. I'm going to read 3 books a month, which if you are a reader, you probably laugh at that and think, oh, she's so silly. What an amateur. I am. I struggle to find time. So for me, 3 books a month is actually a lot. I got to where I was just try to read 1 book a month, and just finding the time is hard. But I know that if instead of watching something at the end of the day, if I read, then I will probably get higher than that. But that will be my goal. I want to start off strong. So 3 books a month is a reasonable goal for me. So that's one thing. If you guys are setting goals, just make sure they're reasonable and not based off of anybody else. My friends that read 150 books this year, awesome. I don't have time for that. It's just not going to happen. So I don't need to set some ridiculous goal like that. I think that's cool and inspiring. So 3 books a month. I also specifically want to do 2 fiction books and 1 nonfiction book. So I think nonfiction books are important, some sort of self-help, spiritual growth, something on habits. I have all these books on my TBR. Like I have all these books that I bought or that I have written down or that I want to read and I just don't. And then if I read, I usually choose a murder mystery. Like I choose the same old kind of thing because that's what I enjoy. I'm trying to be more specific. So I'm going to read, hopefully, this is my goal, 2 fiction books and 1 nonfiction every month. Something to go along with that. I bought this really pretty book reading log book at Barnes & Noble a couple years ago. I think, did I put the date on here? I thought, isn't it pretty? It's like beautiful. Anyway, if I can find it, I'm pretty sure I linked it one time. So if I can find it, I'll link it for you guys because I love it. But I didn't do much in it. So this was 2022. And I was reading 4 or 5 books a month, which was good. I was making time. Anyway, I was having fun with this, and then the rest of it's empty. So I am going to keep this somewhere where I'm going to use it and fill it out and actually read. So I'm really, really excited about that because I love to read. So let's do it. So I also set a family goal. What I chose is to have a family game night every Thursday. And I haven't told my family yet. But unless they have a basketball game somewhere, we're gonna do a family game night every Thursday. I think that's important. We used to do this when they were little. We played games once a week all the time. Like we always had this family game night. Well, then you have teenagers who I have 3 that are in basketball right now. So we're gone a lot, or they have practice, or my one daughter works a couple days a week. Now I work a couple days a week. So it's so easy to just not do it, not make it a priority. Well, we got a bunch of fun games for Christmas and we were playing them over Christmas break and they were so fun to just sit, have some snacks and play some games. Sushi Go Spin Sum for dim sum. I'll put the picture here. If you've not played this, it's awesome. I got it at our Bet store thinking like, okay, we like the regular Sushi Go, so let's give it a try. We love it. It is so fun. And it can be a 6-player game. So all of us can play. My son plays all the way up to my husband. We all love it. So I just want to be intentional about that and do that once a week because it's a fun way to bond before, everybody scatters and is doing their own thing. We are going to do a game night every Thursday. I felt like Thursday is good. Friday, my girls like to do movie nights. Saturday, there's always seems like there's something. And there's a couple of days where I work. And so I felt like Thursday is like that nothing day. Unless somebody has a basketball game. So that's why I picked that. The last goal is a homeschooling goal. And that is reading. Just like I set some goals for myself for reading, I want my girls to be reading more because my oldest is in 10th grade. She had a bigger workload this year. So reading for fun did not happen for this first semester. Like she sometimes would take a book to work and read a little bit, but I don't think she actually finished an extra book. Like she's reading books with school. She's reading books that are assigned to her, but reading for fun does not happen. And my little one's not much either. I'm going to come up with a reading incentive. I don't know what the incentive is. Maybe you guys can help me with this part. First thing is we're going to start getting to bed at 9 o'clock because, oh my word, have you guys been staying up late over Christmas break? Because we have, like, so late. We've just been up late every single night. They've been up watching movies and just, it's a lot. So we've been sleeping into like 10, 11. It's been, next Monday is going to be something else, trying to get up early to do school. So we're going to get back to, I think a 9 o'clock bedtime is reasonable because they're older. There's no way I could enforce a 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock bedtime, even though I would love to go to bed early. So we're gonna do a 9 o'clock bedtime, but they get 1 hour of reading. So if they're in bed at 9, they can read with a little book light for an hour. That'll encourage them and be like, okay, you can't do anything else. You can't be on your phone. You can't be playing. You can't, do anything else. So there you go. There's an hour to read. That encourages reading. Then I made something really fun. So I am going to try, if I can figure out how to do it, I'm going to try to link this in the description box for you guys in case you want to print one out. I've never done that before, but just in case you guys want to join with us, we are going to do a bingo for this year. So it's called our Thrifty Homeschool Read-A-Thon Bingo. And we like to do read-a-thons, which isn't actually like a 24-hour read-a-thon, but we'll sit in front of the fire and read for like 4 or 5 hours. And we call that a read-a-thon. Well, this is a yearly read-a-thon. So this is going to be an entire year where I'm going to read you guys what these little spaces say, but they have to fill this out. I thought this would just be more fun. We've got to figure out a way to make them want to read, and just being like, oh, read whatever. I don't know. If you're not in the mood to read, it's really hard. So I'm going to either laminate this, or we might tape it up on the wall or something, but I want to make sure they have this. And if this is really pretty, if you can print it in color. So I don't have color printer, but okay, so here's what we've got. So we have, if I can, I'll put a picture up here so you can just read it, and I'm going to come along and read what they are. I came up with all these different things. So here we've got a Christian author. So any book by a Christian author. Next one, title starts with the letter B. Next one has a house on the cover. So like they just go find a book, in our bookshelf here, or a book at the library, or a book, whatever, that has a house on it. And then they read that. Then they get to check that off for bingo. A book that's less than 150 pages, a biography, a historical fiction, a book of poetry, a book about siblings, a reread, so reading something that was your favorite from some other time or something, was a gift, like a book that somebody gave you, has a cover that you love, book 1 of a series, and then there's this free space in the middle. You read a book in 1 week, then you get to mark off that space. That'll be a good challenge. Has a name in the title, an audiobook, adventure, a library book, middle grade fiction. Middle grade fiction is fun for anybody. I like reading middle grade fiction. I know there's a lot of booktubers that do it too. So even if you have a high schooler, they will have fun just changing things up and reading middle grade. It's okay. There's a number in the title, based on a true story, has a blue cover, book that makes you laugh, a mystery, and of course, a thrifted book. We had to put that on there. But anyway, each of my kids is going to get one of these, and every time they get bingo. So they can either do these 5 here, or, just like bingo, or these 5 here, which has a space, or these 5, then we're going to have some sort of prize. So give me some ideas in the description box of some prizes that I could do. We've done before where like, oh, I'll take you out for a date, or I'll take you out for ice cream, or I'll take you to go buy a book. Buying a book doesn't necessarily, if you're trying to push them to read more, not every kid is going to be excited to go get a new book because they don't really want to read in the first place. So I don't know if that would be the best prize. It would be a fun prize for kids that like love to read and want to do this, but you got to make sure it's a good motivation. So I'm not sure what we'll do. And then I think if they fill up this whole thing by the end of the year, we'll do something big. Like maybe we'll go to a hotel for a night, or something like that. So give me some ideas that you guys would do if you were following this. And if you want to join us, let me know if you're going to join us, because I think that would be a fun, our thrifty homeschool thing to do together. I think that'd be really awesome. So I'm actually really excited. I just have to come up with some good rewards, and I'll let you guys know when I decide that. But yeah, if you have any ideas, let me know. So those are my 5 goals for 2025, my resolutions. I don't think they're crazy. I think they're attainable. I'm actually excited to get started on these things. I just love when things are new and fresh. Like the beginning of the school year, you've got a new planner, and like all the curriculum's new, and you're going to do a new schedule. I feel like it's a breath of fresh air. So even now we're, in the beginning of January, start things new. I hope this encouraged you guys, and hopefully you guys are setting goals too. Set 1 goal. You don't even have to set 5 goals. I think I saw somebody that set 25 goals or something. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine, but don't overwhelm yourself. Set 1 goal for 2025. And if you can attain that goal, then that's awesome. We need to always be setting goals and trying to grow ourselves. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're not yet subscribed, don't forget to subscribe for more thrifty stuff, homeschooling, and mom life. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for being here, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.